So a YouTuber named SciMan Dan. Have much respect for the guy. He likes to call out people who are lying and basically being untruthful about the facts of our world. There are some people who believe that being a Christian and being someone of a science bent, a science mind, that these two things can't coexist, but they do. And so it comes down to this: as a Christian, we're to believe that God is truth. So if the earth is round, then it's got to be part of God. It's that simple. So if you believe that God is truth, if you believe the God of the Bible, if you're a Christian and you say that the earth is flat, you are flat out blaspheming. You are saying something that is true and provably true is not true. That's the same as heresy or blaspheming. Just calling it like it is. So, I'm going to help SciMan Dan out with his experiment on the 21st.
What if nothing more than a stick and a tape measure could prove that the earth is not flat? I want to recreate one of the oldest experiments ever. No fancy tech, just a stick, a measuring tape, and your location. And I want us all to do it together.
Not really an experiment, it's just a data collection to prove what we already know. But we're going to make a stick, basically. We're going to make a stick. We're going to put it straight up and down. We're going to know the height, and we're going to measure the shadow at exactly solar noon on the solstice. The solstice is June 21st. And so you actually won't be seeing this till after that. But on June 21st, at my location, the solar noon is at 13:05, 1 o'clock, 05, 13:05, and 14 seconds. So we are going to take a measurement on a known quantity height stick. We're going to take a measurement of how far the shadow is from center. That's going to be able to give us the angle to the sun. Now, we're just going to be basically verifying what can be observed. You can download an app called the Photographer's Ephemeris, and that will tell you exactly what angle the sun will be at any given point on any given spot on the earth any time of day. As a photographer, I've used it many, many times to figure out when sunset is and where my shadows will be when I'm planning out a shot for the future. But we're going to basically verify what it says with real world. So I'm going to make a device that will show that it's level, it's square, and then we can measure the shadow on at the exact time. And I'll be recording it on this 360 camera so that you'll know that there's none of the flat earth naysayers can say there's any shenanigans. So it's not going to be difficult, but I'll show you what I'm making here. What I want Christians who are watching this to understand and to really hear me when I say this: the book we believe in says God is truth, God is love, that these things are equal, that they are the same. So if you are spouting out something that you don't know to be true as though it is true, that is like saying that something that is not divine is divine. That is the definition of heresy and blasphemy. So keep in mind when you're out there saying, oh, the earth's flat and I know it, blah, 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 you better be able to prove it, or else you're saying something is godly that isn't godly. Now, I know SciMan Dan's going to not enjoy any of this part of what I'm doing, but I want to show him as well. So I hope he'll watch this. I want to show him as well that Christians aren't generally anti-science. In fact, most great science that's happened over the generations has come from those who believe in God. Einstein was Jewish. He believed in God. So these two things are not at odds with each other. Now, some ignorant people have put them at odds with each other. But as a Christian, when truth is revealed, i.e., we have new science to show us how the natural world actually works, we are to adapt our opinion of it to truth. Okay? Not the other way around. We are to be seeking godliness, which means when truth is revealed, we need to accept it, because that is accepting godliness. Does that make sense? It's perfectly clear to me. And if you don't like the Christian viewpoint on truth and science and how things are supposed to work, you can always just read the shirt. Winston Churchill said it best.
If the earth was flat
I whipped this out today so that Saturday we can do this right. Well, let me show you what we've got here. First off, got a pole that is exactly 30. Let's see, which way is it on here for you? Let's go like this. It's exactly 30 centimeters tall. All right. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Look at this. All right. Centimeters. It's a little bit at an angle, but it's 30 centimeters. Less than a millimeter off. 30. All right. Okay. So 30 centimeters. It's also at 90 degrees in all directions. Okay. It also has levels on it so that an adjustable feet. So as you adjust this, I can make sure it's level. It's also marked with true north and magnetic north. When I set this up tomorrow, I'll use this compass to make sure that it's the right direction. My bench is not facing north today. So, and I marked on the south side exactly 10.577 centimeters with the CNC machine. So it's accurate to the thousandth of an inch. So that we can, that's the predicted shadow distance, should go right to there. Now, it's going to be on this side because we're in the northern hemisphere, but I wanted to record my prediction of shadow length on the board. So what we'll do tomorrow is, when this is set up, the shadow will be on this other side. The shadow will be over here, and we'll put the measuring tape here, and we should go right to that 10.577, which is just shy of the mounting screw hole. The shadow should end there. And if it's too hard to figure out, we can just turn the thing 180 degrees and the shadow will be right on that line. So this all happens at 1:05 on Saturday the 21st. And my predictions are that the shadow will end exactly at that 10.577 centimeter mark. And that's where it should land. So this was all done using globe math. I'm not going to bore you with all the math. It has to do with my latitude. It has to do with time of day, latitude, angle of the sun. The angle of the sun's going to be at 70 point something. I got it written down. It's going to be at 70.3 degrees or whatever, which is this angle from here to here. So in a right triangle, this is a right triangle. If you know one side and one angle, you can figure out exactly how far each side and each angle should be in the whole triangle. So doing the math, we figured out that a 30 centimeter at 70.3 degrees is 10.577 centimeters on the B side. The math will be on the screen here. There we have it, and that's my prediction. And even though we're 2 days away, when I put it out in the sun today, it was pretty close to right on those numbers. Now, it'll change mildly between now and then over the next 2 days, but it's not going to change enough to make me doubt it.
Come all you flat earth people, come gather round the fire. Bring me all your maps and all your globes. I'll play the lyre, 'cause I've seen what you have seen, and I've been where you have been. But I can tell you what you're missing, and it isn't very far. No, it isn't very far. If you don't believe me, then go out and see for yourself. Go stand on the edge, take a step, and see if you fall off. And if you don't, then you're wrong. It's all a government conspiracy. They don't want you to know. They want you to stay ignorant. They want you to stay dumb. So they put you on this crazy path that'll take you back where you came from. But the sooner you get back here, the sooner you will know. You'll be older and you'll be wise, but I'll be the
4 minutes
first
to
to
go.
tell you so.
Getting close.
I'll be the first to tell you so.
30 seconds. "40 seconds. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alrighty. So it says 102.6 millimeters. Puts us off by roughly 3 millimeters. Could be a lot of different things. It could be that I kind of beveled the end of this. It could be I'm not quite exactly 30 centimeters tall. It could be a few other things, but we are right in line, pretty close to where I said we should be. And you'll see we're level. We're level. My phone is messing with the compass. Pretty close to true north. As close as my compass is going to get. So, at the right time, on the right day, we're at 102.6. Get this one more time. 102.6. Or 10.26 instead of 10.577, which was my prediction. So, I bet you that's within the margin of error. And if not, well, then we'll have to figure out what I did wrong. All right, so with all that being said, I'm going to do my victory speech now. I'm going to do exactly what I would say after we already know the truth. I'm going to say this wasn't an experiment. It was a validation. Experiment implies some amount of risk of failure. This isn't a failure. It showed exactly what we intended to show. Using math of a globe Earth that rotates within a solar system in a heliocentric model. Heliocentric? Is that right? Yeah, heliocentric, yes. Heliocentric model. So, you know what? My message still stands. Anyone who is searching for truth, it's right there in front of you. Stop searching. The earth is a globe. It was created that way by natural forces, by divine forces. It does not matter. That is a moot point. It is how it is. And if you are a Christian out there who is saying that the earth is flat, you are deceiving people. That's not okay. You know, to those Christian flat earthers out there, I want to say this. God created gravity. One of his greatest things, one of the best things he ever did was make gravity so we could stick to this spinning ball. You believe that a man rose from the dead, but you don't believe in the miracle of gravity? That doesn't make any sense. There are so many things as Christians we have faith in that we cannot demonstrate. And I can demonstrate gravity all day long. It's not the mind that you were given by the Creator to deny his creation. The Bible does not say the earth is flat. There is some references to the four corners of the earth, but that's metaphor. The Bible is full of metaphor, full of parables, full of stories that aren't real, designed to teach you a lesson or to make a point. It's full of poetry, it's full of song, it's full of ideas, and it's full of history as well. It's a big book. It includes all of it. The point is, truth is God. God is truth. If you cannot speak truth, then you are not a child of God. So put down the flat earth, stop deceiving people, and turn to God. He will forgive you, he'll take you back, and he will put you on the path of truth and righteousness. For those of you who are still here, who aren't of faith, understand. There's a few very vocal, very ignorant Christians who are trying to prove they are right. That is not what is taught in the Bible. That is not the humility that Jesus taught to his disciples and to his followers. Humility is admitting when you don't know something. It is saying, I haven't seen it with my own eyes and I have doubts, but it is not trying to convince people that your doubts are truth, because they are not one and the same. And so when you see these embarrassment of Christianity walking around spouting lies as though they are truth and blaming the Holy Scriptures for them, they give us all a bad name. Jesus taught reasoned, rational thinking. He taught logic. He taught fairness. He taught that everyone is the same in the eyes of God. He taught equality. He taught all of the things that we venerate within modern society came from the Bible first, came from the man in Jesus first. He broke the mold. He changed the world. And so when you listen to these loud, misguided people who call themselves Christians, you are not listening to what Jesus said. I encourage you, even if you're not a believer, go listen to what Jesus said. If you want to know what Christianity is like, there's a great book by a man named C.S. Lewis called Mere Christianity. It was written in the 40s, right after World War II. It was also some radio broadcasts in England, and it explains Christianity to people who don't understand it. And he does, in my opinion, the best job of describing what it means to be a Christian. So if you are ever in doubt or feel yourself being angry at someone who calls themselves a Christian, understand if a Christian has pushed you to the point of anger, he has probably already done something wrong. Find out what Christians are supposed to be. Because the fact is, you probably have met many that you didn't even know were believers, that you didn't know had faith. Because they are the ones that are out there not pissing off the masses. They're the humble. They're the meek. They're the ones who will stop and say, okay, you believe what you want to believe, but I won't argue with you about it. That's what Jesus taught us to be. He taught us to lead by example, not by loud words, not by screaming and yelling, and not by spouting lies and deceit. That's all I have to say on that. In the meantime, like I said, I'm pre-recording this victory dance. It's really cool how this worked. It's really awesome that this was exactly what we expected. Like I said, it was not an experiment. Experiments imply risk of failure. This was just a validation of what we already know to be true. And that's what's important. True. What is truth? Science and Christians are both aiming for truth until they're not. Science can get co-opted by politics the same as any religion. It is a downfall of a cognizant, thinking people to be able to deceive one another and to use power for personal gain. But the heart of science and the heart of Christianity are the same. Searching for truth, looking for truth, aiming upward and never backing down. So God bless you, and glad my math was right.